shit is ugly as fuck. We wear that shit.
It's braids.
Take that shit out now.
Are you being for real?
Take that shit out now.
Okay, what's your problem?
Take that shit out now.
I'm on a full-blown campaign right now to completely eradicate the foolishness that is quote-unquote cultural appropriation. There is no such damn thing. There is such thing as making fun of a culture, right? And we've seen a lot of that. And a lot of the movies that we grew up on, you know what I'm talking about. There was a lot of them jokes that was being pushed and we laughed. And I still laugh. I don't give a damn. I'm not that sensitive, right? But when it comes to quote unquote cultural appropriation, when you have individuals who are sharing cultural elements, who the hell are you to gatekeep an entire way of being or doing of a thing? Who are you to gatekeep what somebody can do with their own damn hair? You know, I've brought this conversation up before, and I've said it's interesting how, you know, when the white girl is doing the cornrows or the braids, it's cultural appropriation. But when the black woman straightens her hair and does the blonde extensions or, you know, paints her hair blonde, whatever it is, I know I said paint, it's dye. Okay, yeah, same damn difference. You're painting your face when you're doing makeup. You're painting your hair when you're doing the damn blonde. So I have no problem with either of those. If you want to do the platinum blonde hair and straighten the hair, that's between you and the damn donkey that you rode in on. That's your business. If you are the white girl and you want to do the box braids or whatever it is, that's between you and the donkey that you rode in on. It's your business. But when we start having this, you can't do that because you're not one of us. You can't do that because that's our thing. Do you not understand that every single thing you hold as a cultural norm is shared? Yesterday, me and Bae went to an Ethiopian restaurant. I love Ethiopian food. It was the first time having Ethiopian food, right? She is Moroccan, or at least half. So she is used to that culture. And I knew that she would love, you know, the Ethiopian food because there's a lot of similarities. So we go to Ethiopian, you know, lady opens up the beautiful basket, injera bread at the bottom, right? And then the sides, and we got the, you know, the veggie platter as well as all the meats, etc. there, right? And she looks at it and she's like, wow, this looks a lot like, you know, Moroccan food. And then she tastes it. Oh my God, this is amazing. It's a lot like, and I said, yeah, of course. You know, Northeast Africa, I mean, it's the shared cultures. And she knows this. She knows a lot of the historic context. But these are shared things. So a flatbread is not just, you know, an Egyptian thing or a Moroccan thing or, you know, an Iraqi thing or whatever. This was shared. Maybe there was a group of people who used to make bread like this and they spread that way of making bread around, you know, their own regions. And those people picked it up and iterated on it using maybe ingredients that they had, etc. Right? They made their own versions of it. Now, one could say they're culturally appropriating. That's cultural appropriation. How dare them take our food and be using that as their own food and now be marketing and selling it or whatever it is. How about it's a shared culture? You know, somebody left a comment that has stayed with me to this day. And they said that no culture survives without being able to borrow from another. Like, how are you going to perpetuate if you're never able to learn, even at an individual level, you by yourself as an individual? If you don't continue to learn and iterate and adopt ways of being, how do you transform and transcend your current place? That's pride. Pride is staying the exact same and not being willing to learn from others, or learn from, you know, the experiences of others, or learn from the world outside of yourself. I read these books. The books I'm reading now are both biographies, right? I guess concurrently, I'm spending more time in Rockefeller's biography or autobiography. But I'm also reading Thomas Jefferson because I want to know what their mindset is, what they were like, etc. But, you know, with this cultural appropriation logic, well, what are you going to do? You're going to appropriate them by living and moving and being as they are? You know, just like the stupidity of this whitewashing or acting white. What the hell is acting white? What does that mean? It means speaking with proper grammar, acting white. So that's, I guess that would be the equivalent, right? Appropriating white culture is you acting white. So it means not acting ratchet or ghetto dysfunctional. What does that mean? You know, it's an insult to yourself if you believe somebody's acting white when they're doing things that are simply regular. I used to hear people say, Well, you were raised by two parents. That's some white stuff. Having two parents in the household is a white thing. That is deeply offensive to anybody who is not white. I am so sorry that that is the case. I mean, as a youngster, I was even embarrassed to have two parents because that made me less quote unquote black. But it shows you the folly, the foolishness of this type of mentality. And so when I saw a video like this one with this young woman here being berated and harassed by a grown ass woman, this young woman being berated by a so-called grown ass woman for having braids in her hair, it triggers me to create stuff like this. And the reason I don't have too many examples the other way around is because it never happens. Well, at least not at a scale level. I have never once seen a white woman or a white girl say, "You're appropriating my culture by doing the blonde hair." The only time I ever heard that was in response. It was always in response, right? Well, okay, so if I'm appropriating because I got braids in, then aren't you appropriating because you got straight hair that's blonde? And I'm sick and tired of folks doing Google searches on, well, there's a tribe in Australia or New Zealand, the Aborigine, and they were actually blonde. And then I'd say, then you're appropriating the damn New Zealand tribe. That's who you're appropriating. Because culture and custom is not based upon skin color. There are tribes in African countries, let's say a Nigeria or something like that, right? Maybe 100 tribes or whatever the number may be. And there's different customs and variations. Some may speak the same language, but a different dialect. Some may have completely different languages. Some may have customs. Some may have completely different customs and ways of being, right? And they don't view themselves as the very same as those ones. In Zimbabwe, it's the exact same. Two different tribes can't even marry into each other because they don't see each other as the same. Yet they're the same looking people. They have different customs and ways of being. So the adoption of some of these customs, that's not appropriation. That's appreciation. That's to say that looks dope. I want some of that. I would love to have some of that right there. That right there looks like, it's dope. It's this, it's that. I love a kimono look. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't know if it's the kimono necessarily, but I love the collarless Asian style shirts. If you want to send me clothing, you can send me 1,000 of them right there. Okay. The linen style. You understand me? The Kung Fu Kenny style. I love all of the silk one. I love all of that. I love all of that. I understand that is a direct reflection of Asian or Chinese culture. And I saw a video where a young dude was walking through Chinatown, and then he walked through a college campus wearing a Chinese rice farmer hat. And when he went on the college campus, non-Asian students, mind you, white, black, etc., and he would ask, "What do you think about my attire?" And almost every single one of them said either that's offensive, you shouldn't do that, take it off, whatever, right? He goes through Chinatown, and old Chinese women, Chinese men, etc., they're smiling, they're looking at him happy. Some of them, oh, very nice, very nice. Some of you can't understand, obviously, what they're saying unless you speak Mandarin, but they were appreciating his attire. So the wokety woke crowd would call that appropriation. How dare you do that? Wear a poncho and a damn sombrero, you know what I mean, in a certain way, and go through some Mexican neighborhood or whatever it may be. You're likely to be met with, okay, the person is assimilating to our culture. Go to certain countries in Africa and put on the dashiki or, the kufi hat or whatever it may be, right? You will likely find yourself being admired and appreciated for appreciating their own. Put on the entire garb of the Middle East, the hijab, whatever it may be, and see the reaction or response you get even as a foreigner. But yet, for some reason, in these United States, when you are white or non-black and you want to put on them damn braids, there's something about the braids, the cornrows, the hair that is just so triggering. It's so deeply triggering. For the ghetto queens like that woman right there, and I call her a ghetto queen because that's exactly what she is. She's showing herself to be ghetto. Ghetto is a state of mind. It's a level of consciousness or the lack thereof. It's not just about color or whatever it is. Unfortunately, we happen to see usual suspects. Unfortunately, And you and I know I'm not lying. You can call me whatever the hell you want. Sell out. Oh, you are agent of white supremacy. You can call me what the hell you want till the cows come home. We all know that there's certain types of individuals who are displaying the type of behavior that we saw in that video. The exact same type of behavior. Popping off. So that woman is born with that hair on her head, and you're going to tell her what to do with her hair? Huh? I mean, look, I love natural hair, natural aesthetic, but I'm not going to press it on you. If you want to do a face full of paint, you want to do BBL shots, what you want to do that, I'm not going to stop you. That's between you and you. I might not like it, but I'm not going to tell you what to do with your body. It's the my body, my choice, right? That should be for everything, including the jab, if we want to push that narrative, then okay. Let that person do what the hell they want with what they got going on. And damn it, in more cases than not, it's an appreciation. You know, it's so funny to me. It's like, okay, White Chicks. I thought White Chicks was hilarious. That was nothing but a spoof on white girls. I think that movie is hilarious. To this day, I think it's hilarious. I don't even know if the movie would be made, to be honest with y'all. I hope it will. I hope we're post-woke at this point. But that movie is hilarious. And that movie, it didn't get much backlash. White people, I knew as many white people would love that movie as black folk. But let it be a blackface movie about two black ghetto ratchet girls. My God. In the year of our Lord 2025, let there be a movie with two white dudes dressing up as black women. Black-faced. That's why I say I'm an equal opportunist asshole, right? Everybody can get it, including myself. So I'm not going to hold a double standard. I'm going to say if it's good for if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Is that what it is? Something like that, right? If it's good for them, it's good for, I don't hold them in my relationship. If I am holding it for myself, it's going to be the same for you, period. If I'm going to hold you to a standard, it's going to be the same for me. So either everybody can't do nothing that somebody else got going on. I don't want to see the eye contacts. I don't want to see the skin lightening. I don't want to see none of that. If they can't do the braids, if they can't do the cornrows if they can't do that, they can't put on a dashiki, then you can't put on a suit. Then you can't put on the clothing that was made by that white man because you're appropriating his clothing. You got on Fendi, Hermes, Balenci. Which one of these were made by black culture? Oh, but we took it and we made it our own. I didn't ask none of that. I said, which one of these are created, owned by? Okay, so take that off and put on your own. What is your own creation? What is your own attire? Go find what your attire is and then put that on. Go do your MyHeritage or, Ancestry.com, 23andMe. Go do one of those. Go back to the earliest point and then start wearing that garb and nothing else. If we're going to have that level of insane expectation and standard on everybody else. It's only fair. And I hold the exact same on the other side. If I see these white folks start to talk about, well, you can't do this because that's our culture and da-da-da. No, they're too busy being told they don't have a culture. And I spend enough time in Europe to say, oh, these people have a culture, all right. They all have different cultures. And some of these cultures are mind-blowing. You walk into a place like this, it's like a time machine you stepped into. The culture is preserved. You see pieces behind me here. I thought all of these were just African pieces. I was like, oh my, that's from Belgium. This one's from Venice. Okay, they got their stuff. We shared, we collaborated, we created our own renditions, and that's the human story, and that's the beauty of the human story. But when we allow for this type of behavior, that's what honestly creates for division. This is divisive. And for those of y'all who may think that this video might have been planned out or whatever, it actually wasn't. It was confirmed. I'm going to leave that little video to the end where, the young woman talks about her experience and what happened that day. But I'm not one of them anymore. I hate a bully. I hate a bully of every kind. I hate a bully of every kind. If you want to straighten your hair, go and straighten your hair. There's going to be consequences to it. Putting chemicals in your hair, there's going to be consequences. And if that's what you want to do, you can go ahead and do it. You can bleach, blonde your hair, your skin, all that. If that's what you want to do as a grown individual, if that's what you choose to do, you do you. But don't go around then talking to somebody else, talking about what they can and cannot do. Nah, absolutely the hell not.
I'm allowed to wear braids. So yesterday when I was filming, some crazy lady started chasing me out of the store, screaming about my braids, saying it's disgusting, trashy, cultural appropriation, and then proceeds to say, take that shit off like 20 times.
Take that shit out now. Take that shit out.
She was literally expecting me to rip my hair out right then and there. I can't just rip my braids out. She then follows me all the way to my car, screaming to the top of her lungs, and I just cannot believe somebody gets that offended over a hairstyle like this. If she can wear a wig, I can wear braids.
I appreciate you for tapping into this video, and if you would like to show some love to the channel, make sure to click the link below titled Buy Me a Coffee, or you can send a Cash App, or, you know, just keep showing up.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3, 6, 5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising. They see your light shine, that's why they so frustrated.